Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you are with us, gentlemen, welcome as well. This is Women of Truth. My name is Helen Argeru, and we are presenting tonight one of our masterclasses by a thought leader who is helping to revolutionize the future of women's health. Tonight is actually a very exciting event because we are touching on this very important topic of mindset. And I think many of you will know by now that the mind has many ways of perceiving and positioning itself around thoughts of the past, thoughts of the present moment, and thoughts of the future. And of course, our attitude towards our lives are also included when we talk about mindset, because we're referring to all of this when we talk about mindset. The way our minds position and perceive things, our attitude, the way we also think and feel and even behave comes into sometimes our attitude as well. So tonight we're joined by Deborah Cherrey, who is a life coach, but also has some extensive experience, training, and expertise in Reiki. And she's also an author working on intuitive levels and on the area of mindset, really helping people to become much more passionate about living their best life. We did actually position this entire conference around chronic illness, disease, and many types of diagnoses that can actually be given to us by doctors. But also in tonight's masterclass, we will learn how to distinguish that from prognosis. So welcome to you, Deborah Cherrey, life coach, Reiki teacher, and master intuitive blogger and mindset coach. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for everybody who's on the call or taking the time out of their day to be here, because your health and your mindset and your well-being are so vitally important.
Yeah, it's such a special occasion for us in the world to be doing this conference and these masterclasses in a climate like a pandemic, where, of course, I think we all realize that our health is delicate, that our planet is changing, and that our health at times is compromised in ways that we don't even realize. So tonight's class is quite important for anybody looking to rethink general life choices, not necessarily related to health. But if health is an issue or you have a diagnosis, this class is going to be also particularly relevant to that. Correct, Deborah?
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I guess if you see questions pop up as I go along, just let me know, because I can't see the chat from my screen.
Okay, lovely. So you are happy to take questions during, or do you want to hold them for the end?
If something pops up, feel free to interrupt me, and we can deal with it then.
Okay, lovely.
All
So
right.
let's pin your video, and we're going to be handing over to Deborah, who will do a presentation. And if you have any questions, anybody, you can also put them onto the chat. And of course, if you're on YouTube, you'll need to actually get onto our next masterclass to ask your questions, but you can do some commenting underneath this video. Thanks so much, everyone. Over to you, Deborah.
Okay, thank you so much. What's going on here? So a little bit about me. My name is Deborah Cherrey, and as Helenique said, I am a mindset coach. I'm a Reiki master teacher and an international best-selling author. But my journey has not always been easy. I divorced in 2012, and after that, I fell into depression. And I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I was running 10 kilometers a day, I was losing a lot of weight, and I ended up going and confiding into my doctor. And at that time, she put me on an antidepressant, which I really wasn't too eager or enthusiastic about at the time. And she kind of told me it was a crutch. It was just a temporary aid to get me over the hump. And it was just a short time later that I decided I didn't want to have to rely on a pill for my happiness. And fast forward to just a few years ago, I had another failed relationship, and our family actually sold our business where I was VP. And I could feel myself slipping again. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was drinking too much. And that's when a self-love retreat to Bali presented itself. And I knew if I didn't go, that I was going to sink pretty fast. So I went and I came back. It was incredibly life-changing. I quit my corporate job. And that's when I finished my Reiki certifications and working with my own mindset coach. That's when I became a coach myself. And within less than a year, I became an international best-selling author. And I think I was in such victim mode for such a long time that I didn't realize that I had the ability to control my life and to have life on my terms. And that's what I do now. And I take so much satisfaction watching my clients transform their lives in even such a short amount of time. It really is so powerful. So over the course of this presentation, I'm going to go over paradigms and how they are formed, how the mind works, the law of vibration, the law of polarity, self-image, and mindset, and your health. So you become what you think about. We are responsible for everything in our lives, whether it's wanted or unwanted. Every thought that we think is creating our future, and the thoughts we think and the words that we speak create our experience. So whatever you believe is true for you. You have the choice to choose what to think about or what we accept to be true. And think about some of the beliefs that you hold. I know I was always told that money doesn't grow on trees, or life goes downhill after the age of 40, or what are your beliefs around are people generally out to get you, or that everyone is always helpful, or is the world a lonely place, or is the world full of lovable humans? So whatever your beliefs on any subject lie is what is true for you and what will show up in your world. Your results are a direct reflection of what is happening on the inside. We have been so programmed to allow our experiences and our environment really create our thoughts and beliefs, where we need to live from the inside out and be intentional. So if you don't like your results, you have to change your limiting beliefs and you have to replace them with new ones. The dictionary defines a paradigm as a standard, a perspective or set of ideas. A paradigm is a way of looking at something. How it affects you and your environment. A paradigm is like the hard drive of a computer that has been programmed into your subconscious mind. And it's your mental programming that controls your habitual behavior. It controls the way you walk, the way you talk, the routines that you follow, which is the time you wake up, the time you go to bed, the things that you like and dislike. And it controls the way in which you interact with the world around you. If there's something that you're trying to change, chances are you revert back to your old ways and your results will only be temporary. If you want to have any lasting change in your life, you have to go to your programming, which is your paradigm. How is my paradigm formed? Most of us don't create it ourselves. It's inherited through our genetic and environmental conditioning. So you are programmed, by example, by your parents or your ancestors' DNA, as well as many of their beliefs going back for generations. That's why you look so much like your family, or you like the same foods as your family. And that's not all. Pretty much everything you were exposed to as a young child also became part of your paradigm. Everything that happened around you as a child went right into your subconscious mind because you had no ability to reject anything. It's almost like you were a sponge taking on ideas that were exposed to you over and over again. So like seeds being planted in fertile soil, they took root and became part of your paradigm and controls every aspect of your life right now. Now we can want to blame our parents or our childhood, but they did the best that they could with what they knew. They couldn't have taught us something that they did not know. So if they weren't given love, they couldn't give love. The events you have experienced in your lifetime have been created by your thoughts and beliefs that you held in the past. So they were created by the words that you used yesterday, last week, last month, last year, or 10, 20, 30 years ago, depending on how old you are. But the past is over and done with. These thoughts and words that you choose today will create your future. Your point of power, your point of attraction is in the present moment and is forming your experiences for tomorrow, next week, and next year. How do I know what my paradigm is? You look at the results in every area of your life. And this isn't an exercise to take lightly. Really consider every area of your life, your relationships, your career, your wealth, your body, and your health. And understand that you are responsible for the results that you are getting by the thoughts that you think. And decide that you want something better. You also have the ability to change it. How do I change my paradigm? Chances are you've tried to change habits before, such as losing weight or quitting smoking, only to find yourself with a bag of chips or lighting up at first chance. With change in behavior, the results are only temporary. And why? Because you're not going to the root of the problem, which is your paradigm. The beliefs that you hold are responsible for your behaviors. So one way to change that is through emotional impact, a life event that hits you so hard, your life will never be the same. And usually those are negative in nature, something like 9/11, or you can replace all those limiting beliefs and behaviors with positive ones. By repeating these ideas over and over again, eventually you reprogram your subconscious mind. Imagine how we think, feel, and act based on some of these examples. So a limiting belief of I am fat can be replaced with an empowering belief, I am slender. I am sick can be replaced by I am totally healthy. I am scared of getting old. I am eternally youthful. Wherever you put your attention to grows. The more that you dwell on what you don't want is more that you create of it. The things about yourself or life that you have always disliked are probably still with you. So when you move away from the negative and focus on what you really do want, you choose a new belief that is aligned with the results that you want and choose habits that will lead you to those results. So using a present tense such as I am is important, because if you use a future tense such as I want or I will have, then it will always be that far out of your reach. By changing your old belief systems, you change your results in every area of your life if you choose. You will not have lasting results if you do not go to the root of the problem, which is your paradigm, and they've been programmed in your mindset for years and years. You are responsible for the results that you continue to get over and over again. And every time you try and change one of them, the old habits will try and bring you back to your comfort zone, something that you've always known. Persistence and determination and repetition is the only way that you can change the programming for lasting results. So we all know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, trying to get new results. So your body is actually an instrument of the mind. And this stick person diagram here was developed by Dr. Thurman Fleet back in the 1930s to help explain why people aren't achieving true healing and how they can. He observed that medical advancements were treating symptoms, not understanding that the symptoms were a result of our mind's programming and that our body is an instrument of the mind. So we're going to address two areas of the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is the thinking mind and receives information through our five senses: sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. The subconscious mind is the emotional mind, and it's what we impress on the subconscious mind that dictates our actions. In a scientific experiment, doctors McCready, Atkinson, and Tomasino said that you can intentionally change the structure of our cells by focusing our intent in specific ways. And when they realized when you're angry, fearful, or upset, the cells coil up similar to us going into the corner and curling up like a ball when we are in fear or protection mode. But when we are happy and grateful, the researchers found that the cells began to uncoil. So if we go back to the stick person diagram, we can see that when we consciously focus our intention from the thoughts and ideas in our conscious mind into the subconscious mind via repetition and directed emotions, we can control our body, which dictates our behavior in the physical world. Your physicality is the manifestation of our attitude, where attitude equals thoughts plus feelings plus action. And Louise Hay said, if you accept a limiting belief, then it will become true for you. The law of vibration states that everything in the universe moves and vibrates. Everything is vibrating at one speed or another. Nothing rests. Everything around you is vibrating at one frequency or another, and so are you. We are living in an ocean of motion. So I'm sure a lot of people remember the book The Secret, which was also turned into a movie based on the law of attraction. And a lot of people went to create vision boards and based on the movie of the law of attraction, but they weren't getting the results. And the reason is the law of attraction is actually a secondary law. It's the law of vibration that is the primary law. So everything is an expression of the same thing. Leaves, the tree, the cement, the body, the clothes, everything is at a different rate of vibration. The vibration you're in is going to dictate what you attract into your life. So if you are troubled or worried, you're going to attract a lot of bad energy. The things you fear will present themselves. Similarly, when you're happy and joyful, you're in flow and you attract good things into your life. Your body is a molecular structure at a very high speed of vibration. How do you know what vibration you are in? Is by how you feel. And if you ask a person how they feel, what they're really telling you is their conscious awareness of the vibration that they're in. So if somebody says they don't feel well, what they're really telling you is that they're in a negative vibration. And if somebody says they're feeling happy, they're in a good vibration. If you're in a really good vibration and you're with somebody who's negative, you're not going to feel comfortable around them. In fact, you're probably going to want to get away from them. But if you are in a negative vibration and someone else is in a negative vibration, misery loves company and you're going to come together. It's almost like you are like a magnet. You attract like. So here are some energy fields of the body. There's an energy that flows to and through each and every one of us. It's the energy of infinite intelligence that is available to all of us. And Napoleon Hill describes infinite intelligence as the force that gives order and origin to everything in the universe. It is the prime source, the first cause of everything that comes into existence. You, the individual, are a precise expression of this force. There are no limitations except those accepted or deliberately set up in your own mind. All that is needed to access this creative power is absolute belief, totally applied faith, and unwavering persistence towards your desires. And he chose the term infinite intelligence because it's a neutral term that applies to all faiths. So whether you're Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Jew, and all practitioners of all faiths, of all world religions, have the name for this. Infinite intelligence is a designation that can be adopted and understood by all. So in this diagram here on the screen, this is showing you the energetic field that is comprised of several layers of energy. So there's the physical, etheric, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. They vary in depth, energy, and frequency at any given moment in time, and they fluctuate in response to your physical health, thoughts, and feelings. They are dynamic and ever-changing. The energy field, or your aura, I'm certain that most of you have heard of this before, is regarded as a diagnostic tool with various machines out there that can record the colors of the energy field. Practitioners trained in this modality use the color map as a way to determine what is wrong with somebody. And the color of your aura really means something. So we're going to bring it all together here, how the vibration is really affecting everything in your life. So most people are living from the outside in, through the world around them, through their experiences, their environment, their family, and friends. Our external environment they're allowing their external environment to dictate their thoughts and feelings, but instead you must live from the inside out. Your five senses, hear, taste, touch, smell, and see. Ideas begin in our conscious mind through our environment, our experiences, our family and friends, what we see, what we hear on TV. And the important item to note is that your conscious mind is the only thing that has the ability to accept or reject any idea that is presented to us. So it's in your conscious mind, through our environment and our experiences, that ideas are formed. The subconscious mind is the emotional mind, and it has no ability to reject anything. It accepts any ideas that the conscious mind impresses on it. And once you become emotionally involved with an idea, as you move them from your conscious to your subconscious mind, the subconscious mind is in every part of your body. So once you become emotionally involved with an idea, whether it's positive or negative, it alters the vibration of your body, and it controls the frequency, and the vibrations cause us to take action. It's almost like you're a magnetic force and you begin attracting like energy. So whatever you feed your mind in your conscious mind and take it into your subconscious mind, it controls a feeling, and that's why you're attracting everything into your life. So let's give an example of, you hear something on TV, which is negative, and it causes you to worry on a conscious level. That worry turns into fear on a conscious level, and it's expressed into the body and manifests into anxiety. If the anxiety is suppressed, it turns into depression, and depression turns into dis-ease throughout the body, which causes the body to break down and disintegrate. These are all negative states. But if you understand the way you feel and the awareness of your thoughts and feelings and have belief or faith, it responds on the physical level as well-being. The body is in a vibration opposite of dis-ease, it's at ease, and this is where all creation exists. You know your point of attraction by the way that you're feeling, and our highest and most natural born state is of joy and love. We are spiritual beings in a physical body, and we make it so difficult on ourselves. So this emotional guidance scale was developed by Abraham Hicks, and it's a scale of our feelings and emotions and sequence from our highest vibrational feelings to our lowest. And using the emotional scale is like climbing up a ladder. So you start at the emotion that you're currently identifying with and make your way to the top one step at a time. So when you want to feel better, you can simply identify where you are on the emotional scale and instantly reach for better feeling thoughts that lead to better feeling emotions. Feeling stable in a new emotion, you've successfully moved up the scale. So you continue the practice of reaching for better feeling thoughts and moving up to a higher vibration emotion. So how do you move up the emotional scale? You look at the current emotion that you are in. So you may be feeling multiple emotions at once, but choose the one that you resonate with most at the very moment. Acknowledge how you are feeling and have compassion for yourself. Don't beat yourself up for feeling negative emotion. Instead, give thanks that you are able to recognize that you are in a negative mindset and you have the opportunity to have a better feeling thought. You go back to the emotional scale and look at the emotions above your current state. And you don't want to jump too high to an emotion that's too high on the scale. You have to move slowly. And every shift that you make pulls you closer and closer to the uphill spiral. Celebrate every small win. Be proud of yourself as you move up the scale. By showing high vibe emotions like enthusiasm and positivity, you will begin to move up the scale more quickly. And the upward spiral of emotions is like a vacuum. As you build more momentum towards it, it becomes easier and easier to reach for the top. And soon it'll be natural for you to be feeling better feeling emotions. So we're going to go back to the emotional scale and we'll give an example here. So let's say you're feeling disappointed, which is number 12 on the scale at someone. You're disappointed that he's never on time for your get-togethers. He's always late and you feel disappointed, maybe even a little bit sad. Now would be a good time to see if you can invoke feelings of irritation, which is number 10. And you can do that by saying, it makes me really sad and disappointed that he's always late. I feel like he's not respecting me. It is so irritating that he thinks I'm going to wait for him for one more minute. And so now we've just moved up the emotional scale from number 12 to number 10. Now let's see if we can go up even higher, and you can start thinking to yourself or talking to yourself and say, I don't care anymore. I'm leaving. He can just come and wait for me. I'm going shopping instead. I'm perfectly fine with that. And if we are now from irritation number 10, we go over to number 7, which is contentment, and maybe a bit empowered, which would be actually number 1. So from there, you just keep finding thoughts that improves your feelings. And when you find a new improved state of mind, you let go of the old one. So instead of trying to just get over and be happy, you're naming the emotions, you're owning them, you're accepting them, and you're letting them go.